The Washington Redskins are 7-5-1, still in the playoff chase. But what we need to know for the next 3 weeks, will this be a team that can make third downs, stop third downs, or will they be a team such as myself, playing hurt? We'll be back and talk about that and more in a moment.
Whoa, this is awful. Try it.
Oh, no, that looks gross. What is that?
You gotta try it. It's terrible.
I don't want to try it if it's terrible.
It's like mango chutney and burnt hair.
No, thank you. I have a very sensitive palate.
Just try it!
Guys, I think we should hurry up.
If you taste something bad, you want someone else to try it. It's what you do.
I can't get the taste out of my mouth.
If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Shh, dog.
Dog, 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 dog.
We're still rolling. We got Carolina, who's an excellent football team, the reigning MVP, and Cam Newton coming to town. It was all something to be excited about, but we still have a lot of work to do, without a doubt. I think everybody trusts one another in this locker room. They play for each other, which is fun to watch, but we still have a lot of improvement to do.
Hey, Chris, could you talk a little bit about this offense as far as the way you all fought throughout this whole game to pull this out? And I'm looking at your T-shirt. It says "Stronger Together," and pretty much that's what you all did today.
Yeah, we know we're going to hit those tough times as an offense, and Kirk's been doing a great job all year. And Trent's back now, so we have that leadership from him, and it's just one of those things where we know if we're on our game, then we can put points on the board. Only ones that can stop us is ourselves, and we struggled in the first half. We only had 20 plays that we ran in the first half, and we kept our defense on the field way too long in the first half, and then come second half, we knew we needed to make some plays, make some adjustments, and Sean McVay, he did a great job, with his play calling in the second half, and Kirk and all the other guys just went to work.
Talk about Trent, having him back, meaning that he was a big blocker on that touchdown that you ran.
He's our leader. He's the leader on this team. Just the way he works every single day, all the guys respect him. And before that play, he just told me, "Hey, just follow me. I'm gonna be out there." And when he says that, I know he's gonna keep his word on it. And he took care of his job, and I was able to just run free.
When you talk offense, you have to be efficient. This offense right now, they do put up a lot of points. They put up a lot of yards. But overthrowing a receiver in the end zone is not a good thing. The running game is not where it should be. Yes, Kelly had 60 yards, but most of that was on one carry for 22 yards. If they're going to be a good team in the playoffs, they got to score in the red area. They get down there and they either attempt or miss a field goal. If this team is going further, they must be more efficient in the red area and not overthrow in the end zone.
Tony, you make a very valid point about the Redskin offense. With us to talk about that, we have the world-famous Gary Clark, one of the greatest wide receivers in the history of the game, Redskins reporter Donna Hopkins, and a guy that has the statistics in his head. He far surpasses any computer that's out there now. Gary, Tony thinks they're having problems in the red zone, and he's absolutely correct. However, it is still one of the most prolific passing attacks in the entire NFL. What's going on down there? They finally got their first fade.
Well, they are having some problems scoring touchdowns in the red zone.
Yeah.
They're not having problems scoring in the red zone.
No.
They are scoring.
Yeah.
They're scoring points, And as I said the whole year, anytime you're able to score 30 points or more in a game, you should win those football games. Quite honestly, anytime you're able to score 24 points or more, you should win a football game. So I'm okay with the offense and what they've been doing so far. They do have to score touchdowns instead of field goals because right now the defense is struggling just a little bit, but they came back and made big plays when they needed to. But I'm okay with the offense and what they've been playing.
What do you think, Donna? What about the red zone?
They, like Gary said, they're still struggling there, and as they go down the stretch of the schedule and everything, they're going to need to score. I mean, if they hadn't scored that amount of points on Sunday, they're not going to win that game. But I do like how they open up the offense as far as Deshaun Jackson, get him more involved. The bomb downfield 80 yards, and then Pierre Garçon, if he doesn't catch that down, I think it was third down and fourth down, and so they don't win that game. That's what Gruden said. And then you had Chris Thompson. I mean, he made a crucial run, and everybody was saying, well, why didn't he just take a knee? No, he needed to get into the end zone.
Yeah.
And then Trent Williams, having him back is making the difference. But I still think that if they run the ball down in that red zone more, it'll resolve some problems.
What do you think about the red zone?
Well, I'm going to say this. And nobody's mentioned this yet, but the presence of Jordan Reed was the difference in the game on Sunday.
Even though he only had the one catch.
Absolutely.
Right.
Just having him on the field was the difference. He is the best tight end in the NFC, hands down. Only Rob Gronkowski is better in all of football.
But didn't he out only one play?
Yeah.
Even
But
so,
you still have to cover him.
You got to cover him. He's got to be accounted for anytime he's on the football field. And when he's on the field, it enables their offense to do more.
You know, for so many years, I got to ask Gary this, and we only have about 40 seconds, but for so many years, Gary, we kept calling for the long ball and throwing the ball downfield, and we finally got it. By any chance, is this a product of perhaps Sean McVay having more confidence in his second-year starter, Kirk Cousins, and trying more things downfield?
I think typically it's really simple. You give what the defense gives you. You take what the defense gives you. If they're going to give you downfield, you take downfield. If they're not going to give you downfield, you stay mid-range.
But for so many years, it was sort of a shrink-wrapped offense, Donna. We didn't go more than 20, 30 yards. What's going on?
That's West Coast, though.
Yeah, that is
That's West Coast. That's just the nature of the offense.
But it is. I think the fans love the concept that at any moment, Kirk can unleash one.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps them honest and everything, but beyond just the long balls and everything, they still have to be able to run that ball, because if they don't start running the ball, teams they're one-dimensional right there, and they can counter those things like that, but they definitely got to get Kelly in there a little bit more to just mix up things.
Yeah,
but I do like the long ball.
Oh, I love the long ball. We'll come back. We'll start with you when we talk defense. We'll be right back.
About this win today, as far as you all were going backwards and forwards today, but you came up big in the end with Thompson's touchdown and just the way the defense performed at the end.
Right. And we knew what was on our hands from the beginning of the game. Coming here, the Eagles doing 4-1 at home, so we knew this was going to be a tough fight game throughout the whole course of the game. First half, we really struggled coming in the locker room. We was down 6-14, so Coach Gruden came here, got on us a little bit, kind of sparked us up. He came back out the first drive, scored a big play. Then Pierre came back and scored and threw interceptions, just lingering back and forth. But tip my hats off to them. They played a great game. We was just able to squeeze out a win today. We needed it.
little bit about the fact that they're driving downfield and they seem to be moving the ball, and then you all come up with that big play at the end to pull this out?
Well, we talked about it as a defense, all week. Getting off the field on third down, and the game comes down to us. We got to make a big play to get off the field. And we was in that situation again, a 2-minute drill with the game on the line, and the defense was able to come up with a big play to win the game. So, it's a great feeling for us. But at the end of the day, you still want to get off even quicker than that. But at the end of the day, all you can ask for is a win, and we won today.
Just fortunate to be able to, for us to be able to get off the field there. They had a lot of momentum going in that drive, and for us to get a turnover there, get a stop, and close out the game was pretty cool.
Whenever you're talking defense, you talk discipline. This is one thing that this team must realize. You cannot let the quarterback get outside containment 7 times. Defensive backs, you can't give up 44-yard penalties on interference. You also have to line up the right way. You can't have a defensive back trying to force a guy inside and he lines up inside. What I'm saying, as a defense, they must coordinate themselves and play as a defense. If you want to be a playoff team, you have to play defense better. And this defense, you need to be more disciplined and play better.
I think they're all valid points, Tony, but I got a good one for the panel, and then we'll come back to you at the end of the segment. If Deshaun Jackson played such a great role in the victory over Philadelphia, do you get the sense that Josh Norman is going to play a big role in the victory over the Panthers?
What do players like to do? They like to show teams they made a mistake when they let them go.
Okay.
Norman will be fired up and ready to go against his former team on Monday night.
And he'll fire everybody else up on that defense.
Absolutely.
All right, Donna. The Redskins are ranked at the bottom of the league in almost every category but sacks and defense. This is Tony's defense. How much of it's Joe Barry? How much of it's injuries? How much of it's players out of position? Because they sure looked out of position against Philadelphia.
I think, Mike, it's just a combination of everything. This is a defense that they walked up and down the field almost like passing. They came away with their chin on them as far as lucky to get out of there, because the first play of the game, possession, they marched down the field. They can't stop them. At first, they couldn't stop the run. Teams are not even running on them. They're passing on them, and they're taking them apart. And I've seen, and I'm sure you did, Gary, receivers from Philadelphia was wide open most of the time when they were catching the ball. And I'm like, who's out of position or what's going on? I mean, they're right now, they're not playing good defense. I mean, they made this crucial stop at the very end. But overall, when you look at this defense, they are at the bottom for a reason. They're just not playing good.
Well, this is a good defense in the second half for the most part, with the exception of maybe the Detroit game. But they tend to make adjustments at halftime, and they tend to play better in the second half, and they did win the game.
Not in Arizona, they didn't.
No, they didn't win the game. But for the most part, they make adjustments. So is that the coach making those adjustments at halftime, or is it the players perhaps playing better? What generally happens in the locker room on the defensive side of the ball? You must hear something going on there when you were there, Gary.
Well, typically, I mean, when we played, it was adjustments were made. We had a great defensive coordinator, did a great job. I mean, Bone was awesome and we're doing it. But we also had players who knew to make their own adjustments. And it's important that, for the most part, your players need to make the adjustments because they see what's going on the field. Mm-hmm. If you see what's going on the field, you as a player have to make that adjustment. I'm not going to wait for my coach to tell me I need to make that adjustment. I'm going to make that adjustment because this is my craft. This is what I know to do.
Mm-hmm. Were you surprised that DeShazer Everett stepping up the way he did with that interception? I mean, a lot of people think that saved the game too.
Yeah.
But here's the third string guy. Comes in, playing safety, makes the big play, and looked like he belonged there.
And that's the key. The key is, like, when you get your chance to play, you should go play. Because everybody is not first string initially when they first get to the league. So when you get your opportunity to play, your job is to ball.
Well, Josh Norman said that he wasn't surprised by Everett because in practice the other week that he saw that type of production. So he wasn't surprised. This is a guy that's hungry and really can play. And like Gary said, he just hasn't gotten his opportunity.
Okay, so we'll get to you and Adam just a second, but Will Compton's going to be out. Sua Craven's going to be out. So I guess Martrell Spate's going to play some middle. This is pretty, I mean, having Compton out's going to be big, Donna.
Yeah, but this is when other guys step up. I mean, they've got some younger guys that can really play, but just haven't gotten the opportunity. You let go Jenkins just about a number game, and that's a guy that could have helped this team, but you know they had to bring somebody up. But this is just opportunities for other guys to step up, and I think they've got that. They just got to play.
So you know doggone well the Panthers are going to take advantage of that middle. They're going to try to run up the middle. And they're going to try to go deep, and they're going to stay away from Norman exactly the same way that Philadelphia did. It was almost like he wasn't even in the game. What else do you see the Panthers doing against them?
I think with Compton being hurt, I think what you're going to see is Cam Newton become a runner.
Yeah.
He can use him as a running, because remember, every time the Skins have played the Panthers with Cam Newton there, he has torched them in the running game.
Okay.
He has taken off, run with the ball, chewed up their defense.
Okay.
So I expect more of the same on Monday night.
Not the same Panthers team.
We're going to take a break, Tony. We're going to throw it to you, and then you finish out the segment. But when we come back for special teams, Donna Hopkins is going to explain something very real.
Now, there was some good things on defense. When you needed a winning sack, you did get it. But you must consider that they were on the fourth-string offensive tackle. Should have been pressure all day. Linebackers attacked the line. Now you got Cravens and Compton. They're hurt right now. But Space, I saw some good things in the young man. But defensively, once I say again, discipline is so important. And you need the pass rush at the end of the game when you got to have it. Yes, they got one at the end, but they needed the whole game and really at the end. Defense, discipline.
Look at this, a Silicon Valley server farm. The vault to man's greatest wonders. Selfies, cat videos and winking emojis. Speaking of tech wonders, with the Geico app, you can get roadside assistance, digital ID cards, or even file a claim.
Do that. Yeah, that should work. It's not happening. Just try again.
I think I found your problem.
Thanks.
The award-winning Geico app. Download it today.
Special teams, you're very important. Dustin Hopkins, you're Donna's cousin. You've missed 7 field goals this year, 6 in the last 6 weeks. You have to be more efficient. If you make those field goals, this team is in second place at least. Also, ever since Niles Pauls went out, this team haven't been making big plays. You must make the plays. You have to help with field position. You have to be there for your offense. So special teams, pick it up. You're part of the playoffs as well.
So you have a bone to pick with Tony, Donna. You think special teams has been playing particularly well, even though our field goal kicker has cost us a couple of games.
Well, the team has caused some games too, Mike, but he has to make the field goals, 38 yards. He's got to make that and put that through. But I think overall the special teams have played well. Even with now Paul's out, has been the leader, they have played well to me as far as just the return game, getting the kickoffs in the end zone and so forth. So, I mean, I don't have any complaints more so with them.
But there seemed to be something about the cold weather on Sunday because the kickoffs were short. And is that cold? Is that 20-degree weather? Is that a colder ball? What's going on with that?
Well, it's mostly a colder ball. It's 20-degree weather. It's also, you're outside, so that's a factor. But the key to me has been the ability to get kickoffs to the end zone. You remember with Kai Forbath, one of the biggest reasons they cut him is because he couldn't get the kickoffs through the end zone. He didn't have a strong leg. Dustin Hopkins doesn't have that problem. And he's able to get the ball to the end zone and avoid longer returns.
If a guy misses a couple of important field goals, when do you start bringing in somebody else just to push him a little bit in practice?
I guess it really depends on the mindset of that kicker. Okay. The mindset, the kicker has a strong mindset. If you're like a Mark Mosley, you miss a few, you don't worry about it. Okay. If you're another kicker who has a weak mindset and it's going to carry on, then you probably have to replace that kicker. But I don't think that's a problem.
There are not a lot of really good ones out there to look at.
Hopkins.
Huh? There you go.
Yeah, with that.
That doesn't mean he can hop to different teams.
It could, you know what? It could very well come down to special teams this weekend. It could very well on Monday night. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
I really did save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico. I should take a closer look at Geico.
Geico has a long history of great savings and great service. Over 75 years.
Wait, 75 years? That is great.
Speaking of great, check out these hot riffs. You like Smash Mouth?
Yeah, I have an early day tomorrow, so.
Wait, almost there.
Good night, Bruce.
I gotta tune the A. Me.
Take a closer look at Geico. Great savings and a whole lot more.
Atlantis Premier Events presents a New Year's Eve celebration featuring 2 DJs, live entertainment, and hotel accommodation. With a huge dance floor and great DJs, come celebrate with your favorite friends in a safe, secure atmosphere. Mix and mingle and dance the night away as we count down to midnight in Dulles, Virginia. All your favorite R&B, old school, hand, and line dancing all rolled into one great evening. Across from Dulles Town Center with plenty of well-lit free parking. See why we are Dulles, Virginia's best kept secret. Visit eventbrite.com for tickets and information or our website, atlantisva.info. It's New Year's Eve at Atlantis.
So we have our stat of the week. Well, here it is. The Redskins are trying to avoid their 4th straight loss on Monday night against the Panthers.
Now for the next game you play in Carolina. Do not look at their record. This is a team that was in the Super Bowl last year. You're playing on a Monday night. It would do them well to beat you. You must get ready for this game as if they're still in Super Bowl contention. So your next game is very important. We're not even talking about the games after that. You need the next game. Concentrate. Next game. Be ready.
The 8-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers are tied with the Atlanta Falcons on top of the NFC South. This week, they'll travel to Dallas to take on the 11-2 Cowboys, who are coming off their second loss to the Giants. Now, in that game, it was all about the Giants' defense that dominated and shut down the Cowboys' all-power offense. Well, the Bucs must do the same this week. So looking at Tampa Bay in their 4-game winning streak, the defense has turned things around since week number 10. They have been rated number 1 in points allowed and also number 1 in takeaways at 11. So this week, they've got to be able to do the same thing, but their offense must score more than 16 points. Well, this week, I'm sorry to say, I have to go back with the Cowboys to win this. Pick Dallas.
We have Philly traveling to Baltimore this week. Philadelphia is a good football team, but just not this year. They'll be a good football team next year. Pick Baltimore to slam it to Philadelphia, no doubt whatsoever. Philadelphia will lose. Go with the Ravens.
So we got the Oakland Raiders traveling to San Diego to play the Chargers. The Chargers are coming off a loss in Carolina against the Panthers. The Raiders lost on Thursday night to Kansas City. With what's at stake this week, I like the Raiders' chances. Pick Oakland on the road in a big win.
Well, when you look at the game of the week, the Minister of Information is talking once again. My picks have been tremendous the last few weeks. I'm almost in first place. Detroit going to the Giants. Detroit, pretender. Giants, contender. Look at the Giants to win this game. They showed us last week they can beat the best.
All right, Tony, in the Sports Bar Challenge this week, big game. Steelers at Bengals. Crystal City Restaurant 7-7, picking Cincy. Crystal City Sports Pub 12-2, picking Cincy. Greavy's Restaurant 11-3, picking Cincy. Outback Steakhouse 7-7, picking Pittsburgh. Hard Times Cafe at Fairfax 7-7, picking Cincy. Harry's Ale House in Fredericksburg 8-6, picking Pittsburgh. Buffalo Wild Wings of Rockville, Dustin Boutel, they're 8-6. They are picking Pittsburgh. And I'm not going to belabor the point on this, but we are all bow into Gary because, of course, he has 39-21, and he's 4 or 5 ahead of us. We're probably not going to catch him this year. I won by 10 last year. Let's see if Gary can get that high. I'm the only one that's deviated by picking Detroit. All right, we've got not much time left, maybe 40 seconds. What do they need to do to beat the Panthers?
They need to win.
They got to keep their playoff hopes alive. They got to win, right, Donna?
They have to win out.
Yeah, they got to win, and they've got to not look at Carolina's record, but they just got to go out there and play ball.
Yeah.
2 things. They have to contain Cam Newton, number 1, and number 2, they cannot turn the ball over at all.
And hopefully Josh Norman will have the kind of day that Deshaun had against his team. And then hopefully it'll be an easy ride in Chicago. And then it's all up to the big game on the final day on January, is it 1st?
1st.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
Big present.
All righty, Tony, take it away. We're going to go to the TMI, and then Tony will give us his tip.
Welcome to TMI. With me again is April and Morgan, and today's topic is, why is the ratings down in the NFL this year, and should they do away with Thursday night football? Is the product just not good? I'm starting with you today, Morgan.
I don't believe it's the product that's not good. I think there are several factors that are leading to the ratings dropping, but the biggest factor I think is the NFL and Commissioner Goodell putting unrealistic expectations on the league and on the ratings that are supposed to be growing every year. I just think it's unrealistic to think that's going to happen, especially with things going on in the news like, the election, which is unlike any election we've ever seen before.
Just Donald Trump on his own is like Donald Trump TV. That is enough to take away from everything else on television.
So April, talk to me. Is it just too much football?
You know, when you come to me, like, how much time do I have? Okay, listen. As a wife of 20 years, Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, I lose my husband. So yes, do away with Thursday nights, just on the factor that I would like to spend more time with my man. The other issue is millennials do not watch television. They watch the internet.
Yeah.
They see everything on their phone
and they want it
or
quick.
On the computer. They want it quick and they want it now. The most important factor, in my opinion, though, is the money. It always comes down to money. If you don't have the Red Zone, if you don't have DirecTV, you're not going to get to see all of your games.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go to a pub who's subscribed to all of those.
Yeah, because it used to be CBS, ABC, NBC, but now you have to have cable to get the game.
You got to pay for it.
Yeah,
and I think if they had left it the way it was, the ratings would be skyrocketing. But I also, if I can loop around to last week, remember they talked about no celebrations in the end zone?
Yep.
You can't tell me that people don't love somebody making a touchdown and some guy acting crazy. You want to see it.
Well, you know what? I would love to talk more about that, but we have to go. But one thing about it is that they may do away with Thursday night football.
It'll be my pleasure.
Here's my tip of the week. You're playing a wounded animal, the Panthers. They are a good team in the Super Bowl last year. Not playing well this year, but at the same time, capable of beating any team in the league. Monday night, go out there and show them you are the best team.
Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus wishes to thank these employers for supporting our Hire a Military Vet Challenge. Special thanks to Veteran Staffing Network, Mercedes-Benz of Arlington, Department of Health and Human Services, Montgomery County, Maryland, Bechtel, MVLE, CSC, Strategy Management, Caliber, Mainline Protective Services, and Easter Seal serving D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. If you're an employer and want to get involved, contact Red Mag Plus TV at AOL.com. Okay, high school seniors, don't forget the scholarship contest. The essay topic is identify a societal problem and how you would remedy it. And if indeed you are selected as one of the winning essays, there will be 8 laptops in the offing.
Well, in closing, we've talked about a lot of things, but one thing we know, you got 3 weeks to make the playoffs. We know that you can do it, but at the same time, everything we spoke about today, you need to take care of your business. Handle your business, you can be in the playoffs. If you don't, you won't. As we always say, we don't say goodbye. We say in the minute.